don't drag your horse onto the trailer because you might end up with a horse who's more afraid of the trailer rather than wanting to go inside. Hi, I'm Noah T.Y. of Steady Horse, where we believe you never have to fall off your horse again. I want to invite you to join me as we continue Slate's journey together. Taking this rescue horse who would bite and come after you like a pit bull, attack you, kick at you, and now turning him into having an unbreakable bond and trusting partnership, building his confidence while we are leading him with love. If you want to learn more about his story, you can find the link in the description. Let's get started. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to be introducing Slate to the trailer in a moment here. But there's a few things that we need to do in order to prepare him. And we've done a lot of work up until now. Previously, we did some obstacle work, getting him to step onto different obstacles, the bridge, the teeter-totter, so on and so forth. But now that I'm ready to actually ask him to go in there, I want to make sure, one, that he backs away well for me. Because right now, where he is in his training, he's doing phenomenally well. But there's no way I'm getting in there with him. At least not yet, okay? So I wanna make sure that when I do get him in there, that I can actually back him off of the trailer. This is a huge problem that I see with a lot of people who aren't thinking ahead. They have a young horse, a wild horse that they're working, and they get that horse in the trailer, but then the horse gets stuck and bound up and ends up having a really hard time coming out of the trailer. So I wanna go ahead and get ahead of that. And what I wanna do is make sure that he will back away from me when I ask him to. So he knows how to back off when I wave my rope, which is really good. That's gonna be helpful when he's in the trailer. But also, sometimes when they're in the trailer, all that pressure kind of compounds on them. They kind of freeze, and you need to use a little bit more pressure. So I wanna make sure that I can reach in from the outside with my steady stick and give him a tap. Good boy. And that he taps away from that pressure. Good job. So I'm gonna walk him up here. Good boy. And take a deep breath. I'm gonna pick up my stick. Good, I like how he's responding. I'm gonna ask him to tap and move away from that. Awesome, very good. So now I've got two really good solid tools that I can use when I do get him in the trailer in order to make sure, good boy, you're okay, in order to make sure that I can back him up and away when it's time for him to come out of that trailer. Good boy. If you're still watching this, chances are you believe just like I do, that real partnership is built on love, not force and chasing your horse around in circles. I've got a free, powerful training that used to be a part of a paid workshop. Riders would invest hundreds to get access to this, but right now I'm gifting this to you for free. It's already helped hundreds of riders to stay in the saddle with connection and trust. No more chasing your horse in circles or trying to prove to them who's boss. I don't know how long we're gonna be able to keep this for free, but it's available if you click the link in the description and you can get started right now. And I promise you, your horse will thank you. Let's get back to the video. So now that we got Slate really good with the backing up, we wanna make sure that he is sending and moving around me when I ask him to, okay? So that always, as usual, when we send, we start with backing him up. Nice big deep breath. I want to move that front end over and away from me. What a gentleman, good boy. And I'm gonna drive him forward and around. And the idea here is even though I'm right by the trailer, I'm not really focusing on the trailer at all. I'm focusing on him taking to my direction and moving around. This is what we call direction training, okay? So the direction training is like if I point somewhere, I want you to go there. Good boy. Trailer just happens to be there. So step one is really getting him fluid and moving without slowing down. And I wanna keep him into the trot. He's a kind of lazier horse. Like he doesn't just wanna stay in gait, so I'll just have to push him a little bit. Keep him going. And the idea here is I want him to take to my direction, but I also want him to work. Because in a second, we're gonna switch to what we call magnet training, okay? And magnet training is where we teach our horse to rest, to draw, to a particular location. And so you'll notice when he's away from the trailer, I'll push him. When he rounds closer, I'll slow down, away, I'll push him. When he's closer, I'll slow down, away, push, closer, slow down. And when I say slow down, that's with my breathing, my energy. I'm going to soften and slow, because in a moment here he's going to pick up on this and he's going to start slowing down at the trailer on his own. And that really shows me, there, good, that was better. That really shows me that he's looking for something other to do than just run in these mindless circles. Because I'm saying, hey, you can run in a circle, or there's some relief when you're over by that trailer. Run in a circle, go in my direction, relief by the trailer, run in a circle, release by the trailer, run in a circle, release. You got to keep going by the trailer though. Good, I like that. I'm going to stop him here. Just to really drive home the point that being closer to the trailer is a good choice. I'm going to kind of direct him more into the trailer here. Good boy, good. Good pony. I'm going to direct him this way again. Good boy. And again. Just moving that front end just like I did a second ago when I was sending him out. Just to let him know that resting over here is a good place, good thing for him to do. All right, so now I'm going to send him back around. And I really want to see how effective this magnet training is. So we're directing, pushing him around, driving him closer to the trailer. This time around, I'm going to keep driving, but you got to keep going towards the trailer. That's where you find your peace, and I leave you alone. There you go, good. There it is, good boy. What a pony. Good boy. Up. So you see how he's moving away? I'm just gonna say, hey, back towards that trailer. I'm gonna give him a little bit more direction. He might fuss at me here, but a little bit more direction to say, there, engage with the trailer. That's where you get to rest. Again, I'm gonna let him know. Engaging with the trailer, there, good boy. I like that. There, good. I'm gonna rub and love on my pony. Let him know he's made some good decisions here. Good boy. I wanna try directing him one more time. Direct him right around. Give him the opportunity to get away from me. I'm gonna tap on him to direct him towards that trailer. I really want him to choose the trailer. Right now, he's still kind of hooking in away. So I'm gonna kind of just be a nuisance, snag at him, there, till he moves away from the pressure into the trailer. That was good. I'm gonna step him back over that direction again. I'm gonna kind of just tap, nag at him. There, good, again. There, again. There, good. That's his safe spot. I can't mess with him when he's over there. I just let him rest and relax and build that magnet. Good, okay. I'm gonna try again here. I really want him to choose it on his own where I don't have to push him over there. There. I like that. He kind of started going that direction. He's a lot softer when I'm moving him over there. I like that. Good. There. Good. There. Good boy. What a pony. And that's going to be a good spot for me to end on this step, right? So it's like the first step was backing him up. The second step was sending him, having him work, and letting him know that over here is where he finds peace and rest. Now, if he backs up, I was going to let him off here, but if he backs up, I'm going to go right back to sending him around, letting him know that the only thing that he'll find out here is work. That's all he'll find out here is work. That's it. He can go back here. He can make that choice. But all he'll do is find work. I'm also doing something else as I do this. You guys can see I keep putting this rope around his legs. So I'm kind of killing two birds with one stone. I'm nagging him and keeping him going, but I'm also doing some desensitizing. He's been prone to kick. And so this also gives me an opportunity to desensitize that hind end. Good boy. Good. Good. There it is. I like that. There. Good. There. Good. Oh my goodness. And so now you can see how we've began to create a magnet where he's seeking to come back to this place. Good job, Slate. So the next thing we're going to do here with Slate is we're going to finally ask him to go in there, right? So we've done some sending around to show him that away from the trailer is work, but now I want to send him in here, just like we did with all those obstacles that we worked on. And the idea is I'm going to add pressure, and when he goes forward, I'll release. Good. And I'll add pressure. I'm going to stay with him here. Forward, release. Good boy. There, good. That was really, really good. I'm going to take a nice big deep breath, let him know that he made a good decision by just moving out of that pressure and moving forward for me when I asked him to. That was really good. Very, very pleased with his choice there. So I'm going to ask him again here. I'm going to add pressure. There, good. Good. Pressure, good. There it is. Good boy. Good boy. Easy. It's okay. It's all right. And I think part of the issue too is we've got a camera person up front. And so he goes in there and he's like, hey, Destiny. And he can see her. It's like, oh my goodness, there's somebody in there. Well, she's not in, but she's like at the end. And so he's like, oh, I didn't know there was going to be a person up there. So he kind of spooked backwards, but that's okay. He really handled it really well. And what we're going to do is we'll also work him through the way that he backs off to make sure he backs off nice and quietly. So I'm going to go back to here. There, good. Yep. Come on, bud. Oh my goodness. Let's go back in there. Good boy. Oh, I love that. Good. Oh, much more calm and relaxed. And I want you to notice, I'm not pulling him in here, right? Like I'll show him where to go, but I want him to work with me and decide. There, and I'll release when he's working with me. Good boy. Good boy. And even if he shoots backwards, I'll have a little bit of pressure to stay with him, but I'm not trying to pull him back or keep him there. There. You're okay, bud. Good pony. I'm going to take a deep breath. I'll let him rest and relax there. Good. He thought about stepping out, but he stayed with me. So now this time I'm going to back him up. And this is good practice because I want to make sure I can, there we go, didn't take much, but I want to make sure I can back him up when he's in there. Because the first time he gets in there, even though he's doing okay, he's doing pretty well, the first time he gets in there, I don't want to be in there with him, right? You know, there's still more work I want to do to make sure he's not kicking out. He's doing great. So the safest way for me to do this is to send my horse into the trailer. And I recommend people sending their horse into the trailer all the time because it helps you to be at a safe position so that if your horse flies out backwards, you're out of the way. If you have a horse you don't know or a horse that has a tendency to kick, you're not going to be in the kick zone. You're going to be in a much safer position. So here we go. I'm going to ask him to come right back up here. Now, if I were working him, you know, I kind of made a little bit of a mistake. You know, I was kind of talking and explaining while he's away from the trailer. I really should have had him step back up before I started explaining all that so that he's resting at the trailer and we reinforce that idea. Because now he's thinking, oh, I can rest back there, right? Because that's where he let me rest a second ago. Let me go there. I'm going to say, nope, I'm going to nag you until you get back in. You showed me you can get 2 feet in there. Let's see if we can get those 2 feet back in there, bud. And you get those 2 feet in there, then I'll leave you alone. There. You see how I'm giving him more clarity now to let him know what will get him away from the pressure. Good boy. What a pony. Good job. Wow, Slate. What a big boy. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. So I'm going to go back him up again. Nice and easy. I'm going to hold him if he pulls. And then I say hold him. I'm not keeping him, but I'm holding a little bit of pressure until he comes forward. Then I release. Coming into this gets him away from the pressure, not pulling away. Okay, I'm going to pull here. Good boy. Good. Good. So my expectation is 2 feet. Good. Good boy. What a pony. Now, even though my expectation is 2 feet now, it doesn't mean it always has to stay there. If I see that he's struggling with 1 foot, maybe I back up to there. Or if I see that maybe he's struggling with just approaching the trailer, maybe I go back and give him clarity there. So we've consistently got 2 feet on there. I'm going to go ahead and send him the rest of the way this time. And usually I'll just get all 4 feet. If I can get a 3rd foot in there, I can get a 4th foot in there, okay? Now, if he backs up, that's fine, but we'll see. Good. There. Good boy. Good boy. So now I'm going to really let him rest here. Now, you got to be careful. Some horses will turn back on you, okay? And so what I'm going to do is now that he's in there, I'm just going to kind of shift. Be really careful sticking your hands through here with ropes and stuff. You don't want to put your hands or your arms in a position where he could pull back and you get into a bind and you get hurt. So I don't want him to turn. Oh, that's great. I'll take that. I'm going to hold pressure till he comes forward. Good boy. Good boy. Good. I like that he backed up instead of trying to turn on me. And I'm going to go right back to driving him through. Say, nope, we got to get 2 feet in there, bud. He says, I don't know. 2 feet. What a pony. So now what I'm going to do is, this is kind of a little bit of a different technique. You got to be careful here. That's all right. I'm going to go ahead and set this up first. Is I'm going to slide my rope through the rail here, okay? So that way now I have a little bit of leverage, as if I were going to lead my horse in. I would be pulling on that rope on the pole, and my horse should give to that pressure, and I'll release when he gives, okay? If he shoots back, again, I'm never going to fight him. I will let this slide out. I'll catch it here, and I'll float with him as far back as I need to, and I'll hold pressure, good, until he comes forward to let him know that that forward pressure gets him out of it. So I got to be prepared for that, okay? So here we go. I'm going to pull. Good. Oh, my goodness. Look at you, bud. Oh, my goodness. Wow, Slate. And we're going to go a little bit further. Good boy. What a pony. What a pony. So I'm going to take a nice, big, deep breath here. He's made some really good decisions. I'm very, very pleased with how quiet he's doing. And a lot of this has to do with the way that we've prepared him, right? Doing the bridge, the log, the teeter-totter, backing him off of obstacles, making sure that he's comfortable with being backed before we put him in here, gives him the tools to be able to do this a lot more easily for him. Good job, Mr. Slate. What a pony. So, like, is he perfect? No, but man, like he's doing really, really well. You can tell he's not 100% comfortable or confident in there. He's like, I don't know, I'm just standing here. But he's being such a gentleman. So now I'm gonna work on backing him up. And what that's gonna look like is I'm just gonna kind of wave my rope there and release. Wow, that was good. I'm gonna hold as long as I can. I might have to switch and forward, then I release. I'm gonna drive him right back in there. Because just like everything else we do with our horses, the repetition is where they learn. Good boy. And next couple steps. Good boy. Oh, now you're a pro, huh? Now you're a pro, aren't you? Yes, sir. So this time I'm gonna take him in. I'm gonna hold him to the turn on me. Lost him there, get him back, step him forward. So we're gonna do that again. This time though, it's okay. I'm gonna take him in a little bit further, okay? So I'm gonna come way back here so I can get him in there a little further. Good, good boy. I'm gonna step him up just a touch further. Oh, look. Hey there. Wow. How is it in there, man? Oh my goodness. If he backs up, I'm prepared to stay with him. And again, most people get into a bind because they fight these horses. And that's where horses hit their heads on the top, they skin their faces, terrible things can happen. Let them go. Catch it on the offside. Don't get tangled up in this rope. Don't stick your hands or fingers any place they shouldn't be. And you guys will be just fine when you're working at this at home with your horses. Okay, so he's gonna back up on his own. He's gonna try to turn on me. I'm not gonna let him. So I'm gonna hold him here. And usually most times they'll figure it out themselves. Let's see if he'll kind of turn his hind end back around for us. So I'm just gonna be patient. There he goes, good job. Yeah, you figured it out, bud. And so I'm gonna try to help to scoot him back. But I want him to kind of turn back. I'm not gonna let him turn. And I kind of have him in a funky spot where he can almost turn, but I'm gonna come over here, put some pressure on him. There. I'll let him go, and I'll grab him, and we'll go right back. He's gotta come forward into that pressure. Good boy. And you see how it's like, my demeanor is just super chill. Like, it's okay. There's gonna be some hiccups, but this is all part of the learning process for him. So this time I'm coming even further. Good boy. Good. I'm gonna step him forward. Good. Up forward, good. Awesome. Good boy. Oh, I like that. A good lick and chew in there. I really like that. That shows me he's a lot more relaxed. What a pony. So now my goal is from here, can I ask him to back up? There, good boy. Can I ask you to back up? There, good boy. Oh my goodness, look at how thoughtful he's being. Can you back up? Good boy. Good boy. I know it's a lot, but you're doing so good. Yes, sir. So we're gonna go right back to it again. Because it's just as important how he offloads as it is him getting in there and loading. And the only way he figures out how to relax and not feel like he has to shoot backwards is by doing it over and over again, and him learning that shooting backwards doesn't really get him out of the pressure. Good. He's standing there. Oh, he's stomping. He says, I don't know about this. I'm going to take a deep breath. And then I'm gonna go right back to asking him to back up. So I'll kind of wave that rope. Good. It doesn't take much, so I don't have to wave and put a lot of pressure. Good boy. Oh, wow. Look at you, bud. Wow. I'll add a little, I really like that. I'll add a little more pressure there and a little more. Whoa, what a gentleman. What a gentleman. Yes, Slate. Wow. And I would say that that is a really good place, yes, sir, to finish with you. I know that was hard, huh? That was really hard to do. So, you know, the goal of getting him into the trailer now, I kind of shifted my priorities. You know, you can tell I still haven't brushed him out, and we still haven't, we've picked up his front feet, but we haven't trimmed his feet yet, and I haven't picked up his back feet yet, is I want to get him into the vet so that we can go ahead, there we go, good boy, and get him castrated. And once we get him castrated, we might even trim him while he's sedated and do that first trimming. Because the whole point here is to make him as comfortable as possible and to set him up to be as successful as possible. And so even though he's been doing really well, even though he's been intact, he's a stallion, we still want to go ahead and be responsible horse owners. And it's really important that we get him castrated so that wherever he ends up going, he's not just breeding and creating more and more horses all over the place. Because there's a lot of horses in this country that are neglected, that aren't taken care of, and that aren't provided for, and we don't want to perpetuate that. So it's always good practice if you have a stallion that's, you know, not going to be a part of a breeding program and be maintained properly and all that kind of stuff, to go ahead and get them cut and castrated. So, Mr. Slate, you're doing a phenomenal job, and based on how he's doing today, I'm going to give my vet a call and make an appointment so we can get him taken care of.